My dad always speaks about how he wants me to get married off as soon as I graduate high school. What in the world?
How about trying to get you a freaking psychiatrist? Like, what up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. And today we are going to be doing another episode of TheeMafiaspeaks. Now, I've been doing a lot of these lately. I'm trying to get them out of my inbox. And if you guys do not know what that is my segment where you guys send in your life problems, and I, as well as the Mafia, gives you advice. Now, everything is anonymous, and if you would like advice, send your email to TheeMafiaspeaks@gmail.com. Not the Mademoiselle email. That is for business inquiries only. So let's get straight into the problems. Like I've said in the past, a lot of these seem to deal with like family issues, family trauma. And I find it insane that a lot of you guys are going through all of this. Like, sheesh, what the hell do we have a DIFUS or a CPS or whatever the case is for? Like, they don't seem to be doing their jobs, like, at all. There's too many kids suffering in circumstances that they just shouldn't be involved in, like, whatsoever. And it really bothers me. So for those of you who are like really out there going through something really serious to the point where like you can't get yourself out of it, whether it be someone you're dealing with in your family or a close friend or whatever the case may be, I am so sorry, and I really hope you get through it, because the things that I be reading, I cannot fathom. I have to give a special huge shout out to my sponsor at Car Marshall. If you need a new car, a used car, or any car, make sure you head down to Car Marshall, and they will be there to negotiate the best deal for you in your area. Make sure you head down to the link down in my description box or in the pinned comment down below to get started today. So this video is gonna be pretty long. I got my cola laca. Go get your wine. Go get your mama cool. Go get something. Okay. Hopefully it's not as sad as the last one, because the last one had everybody shook, but it's long. All right, so before I really start, I want to give a little brief summary of my life. I'm a Muslim girl from South Asia. I was born and raised in Canada. That's very interesting combination of circumstances. Muslim, South Asia, raised in Canada. Okay, very interesting. I grew up in a home where it really wasn't like a family. I mean, my parents wouldn't really cooperate with each other. Within the culture of South Asia, it's very normal to marry off your son or daughter to a random person for wealth, popularity, etc. And that's pretty much what happened to my parents. Yo, that's still a thing. I always thought that was like old, ancient things. But I mean, it is your parents. I'm saying that your parents are like old and ancient. But I'm saying that's usually something I heard of like back. I didn't think that was still a thing that still goes on. Comment down below, is that still a thing that goes on? Like, do people still do like arranged marriages, like against their children's will? Do the kids at least get a choice nowadays? Like, let me know down in the comment section below. They pretty much hated each other since the beginning of their marriage. So fast forward, when I was 6, my daddy got into a very severe car crash that caused a lot of financial problems. My dad was the only person who worked. I had 2 brothers and a sister that are over 8 years older than me. We struggled a lot, and what made it worse was that our family, in quotation marks, had many communication problems. Everyone is hot-headed and gets upset easily. None of my siblings nor I were ever able to speak to our parents about our mental health because they would just ignore it and speak about themselves. I'm sure they're narcissistic. All right, pause. This is what happens in a lot of foreign households. I'm not sure about how it works in an American household because I'm not American. I wasn't raised American. But when it comes to foreign households, this is a very serious issue, and it happens all of the time. And I actually went over this in my sociology class in college. It really is very much true that foreign people do not talk about their mental health issues or their emotional problems. They tend to just go through life dealing with their mental issues or their emotional problems on their own. They don't talk to people. They don't seek professional help. They don't seek guidance, counseling, or anything like that. They would much rather keep it to themselves and deal with it on their own than to seek help. That's just how a lot of them have been raised, and that's how they choose to raise their children as well. That's why when it's like you're going through something, you feel some type of way, you can't go to them, because not only it's not even the fact that they don't care. It's the fact that they're not used to that. They don't know how to handle that type of feeling. They don't know how to handle that type of conversation. Like, they really don't. Like, a lot of us have certain things we're not able to have conversations about. Like, I know there's a lot of people who can't have sexual conversations. I know there's a lot of people who can't have financial conversations. And for a lot of foreign people, feelings, emotions, mental health, grief, stuff like that, they're not going to talk about it. They'd rather just cry it out, tough it out, whatever it is they got to do. But talking about it is just a no bueno. It's just not going to happen. They don't want to do it. So, trust me, I don't believe they're narcissistic. I'm sure they just don't know how to deal with that type of issue. Especially coming from a kid, because as you know, most foreign people believe that kids shouldn't have any issues and we have it easy and blah, blah, blah. They always accuse us for not making good decisions, and they compare us to other people's kids. Well, maybe if we had a supportive parents giving us advice, we wouldn't just be doing do something randomly out of the blue. We had to learn everything ourselves without anyone telling us what can happen. They've always made themselves the center of attention. Ooh, child. I mean, they would always fight with each other and expect us to help them since we are all kids. They would also force us to pick and choose who's right and wrong. Ooh, I've never heard of that. That's very different. After my dad's accident, I started to have problems with my head. I thought having dark thoughts were normal. I would always have insane nightmares where I would wake up crying and panicking that resulted with me having so much anxiety to the point that my body would just shake and I'd be used to it. Fast forward to that, when I was about 8 or in the 3rd grade, I started to understand what was going on in the family and how broken it was. I started stress eating my life out and I gained so much weight. I was considered obese. I grew up in the hoods, which led one of my very, very close friends to get shot in the head. He was 14, 15 at the time in front of me. I was 9 or 10, and I'm still traumatized from it. Ooh, child. When I was about 14, that's when my first friend died, and he was about 16 at the time. So I could definitely understand, but you were 9 or 10, I could not imagine. Honestly, yeah, I have a lot of friends who've passed away. I'm at number like 16 or something, probably higher. I'm sure I lost count. Like, everybody I know just keeps dying, getting shot, killed, stabbed, committing suicide. So I completely understand. Since it was someone I cared about deeply, I considered as my 3rd brother. I started becoming even more depressed since life was already hitting me so hard at that point. I gained even more weight. Within the time I was 12 to 13, I started to starve myself and became underweight. Okay, so you went from obese to underweight. Okay. And at this point, you're only 12 or 13. This is a lot to go through as a child, like a lot. I was probably 5'8", and I was about 90 to 100 pounds. Whoa, child. I attempted to commit suicide 3 times. I hated myself so much. I was that one girl in my grade that was brown skinned with curly hair. It didn't really help since my parents were also very colorist. They always changed me for my skin tone and tried to make sure I don't wear clothes that reveal my skin. I got into a very bad habit of straightening my hair to the point that I had heat damage and it became straight naturally over time. I stopped eating, going out, socializing with people, and pretty much put a pause on my life. I stopped showering. I'd always be fighting with the dumbest shit, and I just got annoyed of it and I got used to it. I started cutting and crying myself to sleep. I've also really struggled with falling asleep since I was a kid because of the nightmares I would have, which I still do have. I struggle with getting up for school since I always end up falling asleep very late. I can't focus in class without getting lost in my thoughts. My dad always speaks about how he wants me to get married off as soon as I graduate high school. What in the world? How about trying to get you a freaking psychiatrist? Like, trying to get you something, like, you know, out the house, like a hobby. Or, like, trying to get you into a sport, something you might enjoy, keep your mind off of all your problems. Like, what? What? Yo, this is wild. This is really wild. Which I do not want to take any part of. It's not like he could force me anyway, since by the time I graduate, I'll be 18 and he has no legal right over me since I'm a full adult. You'd be surprised. There's actually this story. I'm not sure what it's called, but long story short, it was, I believe, these 2 sisters or 1 sister correct me down below what story I'm talking about if you know what story I'm talking about. Basically, they were of Indian descent, and the mother and the father were trying to marry the daughter off, and the daughter was like, nah, I ain't going to. And correct me and let me know what story I'm talking about down below. Basically, they wanted to marry off the daughter said no, and they ended up killing her. I believe this was in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the name of the story. I was watching the documentary on YouTube, actually. So you might think, you know, foreign parents don't really care too much for the law, okay? They really don't.
I don't even want to marry someone within my religion. I feel like the men that are in it that aren't from the West are very controlling and love being in control of their wife like they're their slave. I honestly don't care about what religion my significant other is, and I'll never understand why people would ruin their complete, healthy, and happy relationship where the person they're with is from a different religion, or be with someone that doesn't make them happy, but you're only with them because of their religion. Your happiness is more important than anything. I want to make something out of my life, but I struggle with simple things like having a friendship and relationships with anyone without feeling like shit. I feel like they'll betray me, and I just like to...
Girl, the grammatical errors in this is just a lot. Okay.
Just lie to me. Oh, and okay.
I feel like they'll betray me and just lie to me. How my so-called parents with fake promises, which really took a big toll on my trust with others. Throughout my life, I never wanted to ask my siblings for anything. I never wanted to talk to them about my mental health since they have their own life now. They have kids and they're married. I want to talk to them about it, but I feel like they'll shut me out. I'm 15. I learned how to love my skin and hair. I got over my eating disorder, which caused me to get a ton of stretch marks. I hope I don't go back into the disorder. I still struggle with everything, and it's hard for me to cope with everything. I'm scared to be in a relationship if I ever do like someone and they like me back. I'm scared that if I commit to a relationship that the person I'm with will leave me as soon as they know about all the problems I have. I have no idea what to do with my life. I want to cut off my family, but it's not like I can. They know nothing about me. They proceed to call me their sister/daughter. I can't even leave no matter how much I want to. Oh, child. Okay, that was a mouthful. First of all, I know a lot of people that are in very, very similar situations as you. And I believe that if you're going through this, I'm very sure that your siblings went through this as well. And it shouldn't be that hard to reach out to them or talk to them about what you're going through. They most definitely can probably relate. Unless they're just as bad as your parents and they're gonna like castrate you and say mean things to you, which I highly doubt. I feel like since they lived in that house and they're your siblings, they most likely will be able to understand. Second, you're only 15. This is like way too much to be thinking about. I understand it's affecting you. I understand it's your mental health, but you have like way more things to be worrying about, like your future career, what college you want to go to, or what business you want to start. What do you want to do after high school overall? You shouldn't be thinking of, oh my God, what's going to happen when I get into a relationship or blah, 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 and friends. At this point, focus on being a kid, bro. Focus on being a kid. Focus on getting your mental health together. Focus on what you're going to do after high school. Focus on where you're going to go after high school, because clearly your parents are trying to marry you off, and that seems to be your only choice at this point. Just judging by what you told me and what I know about this type of culture, in a sense, you're probably going to have no choice but to get married. So you should be thinking of your game plan to get out of there. I feel like you're worrying too much about the wrong things in terms of, like, you know, the relationship and dudes or whatever. The right person will come. Whoever is truly meant to be there for you will be there for you. Whoever you truly want to be with, you will be with, whatever the case may be. That's not something that should be on your mind right now, right then and there. You're 15. You should focus on being a 15-year-old. You should definitely speak to your siblings. Well, the most trustworthy sibling you have, the ones that you don't think that will, you know, go back and tell your parents about it, because your parents are probably going to think that there's just something wrong with you and probably say it's the devil, and we all know how that goes, okay? Definitely talk to them first, and if for whatever reason that doesn't work, try to seek guidance at your school. Go to your guidance counselor, tell them how you've been feeling. Go to your nurse, tell them how you've been feeling, and they'll most likely be able to give you psychological help, because yeah, that's a lot. That's really a lot. Comment down below if you have any type of advice for her, or if you're going through something very similar. Okay. Hello, I am 13 years old, so sorry if my grammar sucks. Oh, child. Whoo. Okay.
Anyways, my family is basically effed up. Now, I'm not just talking about the family that I live with. I'm talking about everybody. My cousin and I just had a sleepover. She's staying with me in Minnesota with our grandparents for a month or so. Now, my mama don't like my dad's side of the family too much. Not my grandmother, my grandpa, my uncles, and especially my aunt. My dad has screwed her over many times. I believe he has cheated on my mother 3 times, which was just stupid. Anyways, back to my cousin and I. I slept over at my grandparents' house because my cousin didn't want to be alone. It was the 4th of July. My cousin wanted me to sleep over. My mama ain't want me or my siblings to be at that house. My siblings are 10 and 9. They really don't know what's been going on in the family. Anyways, I asked my mom and she said no. But she did say my cousin could come sleep over at our house. My cousin had to ask her mom, which is my aunt, that my mom doesn't like. Oh, God. My aunt said she can't sleep over. After that, my cousin and I were talking, and we were talking about our effed up family. I was literally about to cry. We walked up. Wait, what? Oh, we talked about this weird tension. This weird tension leads back to when my mom and dad first got together. My dad was in college at the time. My mom was an immigrant. She's from Somali, and my dad is fully black. My mom literally had nobody. Fast forward to when my mom wanted to surprise my dad. She flew out all the way to Wyoming, and when she got there, she found out he cheated. Ouch. I can't stand it, and this is actually happening in my family as well, when adults have all of these adult issues and they fucking put kids into it. Like, they break kids apart, they break their relationships apart because they're having petty issues with grown folk in the family. I feel like that's extremely detrimental. It's absolutely unfair, and it's just blatantly wrong. You should not drag children into adult issues. You should not let children know that there are adult issues. I think it's wrong. I think it's fucked up on every level. And nah, if you're an adult and you're doing this, you need to cut it out. Like, that's just petty. Can't really get into detail because I forgot that I really forgot the things my mother told me. Second time is when my mother gave birth to my brother, who is now 10. He cheated on my mother after that night. What is wrong with this man? And the third time was with his friend's mother. I know that's weird and effed up, and when my mama told me I can't look at nobody the same. Anyways, I hate how much my mom and aunt don't like each other. It's so weird going to Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner at my grandparents' house, and for them to see each other is just weird in energy. They just have to fix it. Okay, first things first. I don't like when parents go and tell their kids grown folk business. You shouldn't be telling your kids grown folk business until at least they're old enough, like over the age of 16, maybe 17, 18, okay? That's just wrong. Because clearly you end up having the kid develop issues like this. Now she can't trust nobody, blase, blase. Second, I don't think there's any of your business, honestly, whether they fix it or not. Yeah, the energy's weird. Yeah, it's annoying. But at the end of the day, each of them most likely have a right to be respectfully mad as so. However, I don't think they should take it out on the children. And I feel like you guys as kids should be able to interact and, you know, have a great relationship together regardless of whatever issues they may have. I do not agree with them taking it out on the children, but I don't think it's any of the kids' business whether they fix it or not, and I don't think it's that serious for you guys to be worrying about it all the damn time. You guys clearly still connect with one another. Yeah, sure, Christmas and Thanksgiving may be awkward, but there's definitely 10 months out of the year where you guys can probably hang out on your own prerogative, especially when you get older. The next time everyone's in town, we're having a talk, and all the kids are going to leave for an hour or two and talk. For what? Where y'all gonna go? And to be honest, like you said in your last couple videos, to ignore family, I really want to, but I don't want to be rude because I'm 13. Okay, this is the thing. Maybe y'all be taking what I say out of context, okay? When I say ignore your family, I don't mean ignore them and act like they don't exist. I mean ignore the caca that they do until you're able to get the hell out. You can't just sit there and react to everything. You can't let everything affect you. So when I say ignore family, I mean ignore the negativity. Ignore whatever's holding you back from being who you want to be, who you can be. That's what I mean when I say ignore family. I'm not saying act like they don't exist. But carry on. I know it's normal for parents to argue, but like they argue every day. And to be honest, I just want my parents to divorce. Ooh, Girl, I feel you. I used to say that about my parents all the time. I know that might sound selfish, but I'm really done with everything and everyone. I feel the same. Well, I felt the same. I still feel like my parents should be divorced. But anyways, sometimes I feel like running away, or I say to myself, I should have killed myself a long time ago. And it really just messes me up, especially at school. But I'm working on not letting my family or other things in life affect my future, you know? I don't know what other issues you may be going through. But literally just me reading this, I just have to tell you, it's not that deep, okay? There are so many horrible things that you could be going through right now. And there are so many more people out there going through way worse situations than you. Your parents fighting and your family not getting along is no reason to kill yourself. They're stupid, they're adults, they want to waste their time, let them waste their time. You focus on you, your future, your goals, your aspirations, your education, your friendships, your relationships. You worried about you. That's it. My whole family's like that too. I can relate. I haven't seen a lot of my cousins since high school, and I've now gotten a master's, okay? Because my family members want to be petty, obnoxious, immature assholes. It's not worth it to kill yourself over some petty caca. I'm telling you this right now. It's just not. Turns out my mom and I have a lot in common. They don't like their children going to our grandparents' house. They don't like going over to that house, and they keep their emotions in a lot. I just need help, and I know you probably can't give it to me, but I need to know what to do. I don't want to talk to my mom, and learning the truth more and more each day, I'm starting to even hate my dad. And I love them so much, but I can't do it anymore. My family just does so much. And my grandparents and uncles act like they didn't have a part. They're Christian, by the way, and I'm Muslim. One night, my mom had to work overnight, and we were living in an apartment. As I'm writing this, they're arguing right now. My mom asked for my dad to watch us. I fell asleep watching SpongeBob. I woke up in my bed to my mom crying because my dad took the TV and his clothes. And guess who helped him? Drum roll, please. My grandparents and my uncle. I'm telling you, I'm done. Everyone wants to act like it's okay, but it's really not. They should just get a divorce, and I can live with my mom or any other family that wants to take me in. I'm sorry for this length. This is lengthy. Thanks again. To me, it sounds like your mom is trying to put you against your father, which I see a lot of women doing, and I think that's absolutely toxic. You can't sit there and talk crap about someone you procreated with. It doesn't really make much sense. Like, you had a kid with this person, but you're talking shit about this person. You've had sex with this person, you're married to this person, whatever the case may be, and you want to talk shit. That's not how life works. And I'm so annoyed by my hair right now, but whatever. I just feel like there's way more things that you need to think about. You can't just sit there and let shit like this bother you all the time, because there's more things in life to do. There's more roadblocks that are going to hit you. This is definitely not the worst thing that you're going to go through. It's going to get way worse, okay? I know a lot of people will sit up here and be like, oh my God, it's going to get better. Ooh, child, things are going to get easier. I'm not Tupac, okay? It's going to get worse. There's going to be worse situations. Your parents and your family's probably going to get way worse. And there's probably nothing you can do about it, but focus on yourself and create your own reality and do your own thing. Don't know how old you are. I'm sure you mentioned it. You might be pretty young, but the point I'm trying to get at is, oh, okay, you're 13. Yeah, you should be trying to like play a sport. You should be trying to, cultivate new relationships with new people to keep your mind off of it. Go to the movies with some friends. Pick up a new hobby like knitting or drawing or painting. Do something productive. Do not think about any of these problems. I do have family that's very similar to this, and it annoys me to this day. They're literally fighting every single day over things that cannot be changed. And one thing I've been trying to live by in general is do not fight, complain about anything that cannot be changed, okay? OMG, you dropped your phone and it cracked. Why, bitch, cry and complain? It cannot be changed. It broke. Wake up the next day, go get the screen fixed, end the story. You're tired, just got a flat. Why, bitch, cry and complain? Call AAA, call your insurance or whatever so they could come get the damn car. Or better yet, pop the spare in your trunk, pull up a YouTube video and learn how to change the damn tire yourself. You feel me? A lot of us need to adopt the ideology of not complaining over things you can't change. Anything you can't change just shouldn't be a second thought. Yeah, you could be upset for like 10 minutes, but after that 10 minutes, it's like, all right, boom, what am I going to do now? There's no point. A lot of us need to, child, my hair is irritating me. A lot of us need to get it together when it comes to that, okay? Stop complaining over things that you cannot change and stop making things such a freaking big deal when it comes to adults' business. Adults will be adults, and most of the time, if adults are still like that at this damn point, they gonna stay like that, bro. Honestly, you just gotta get your life together. Stop paying attention to these people because at the end of the day, they're going to be miserable and you don't want to be miserable just like them, okay? And that's that. Last one. Everything was wrong from the start. When I was first born, my father grew sick and my mother was taking care of him and he was taking care of us, but we would barely see him. He would go to the hospital once every 2 months and stay there for 1 month and 2 weeks. He died last year, actually. Ooh, I am so sorry about that. That's, And now I saw things in a different perspective. I realized what was going wrong with me. I was never allowed to hang out with my friends from school. I would stay home, clean, and watch my little cousins. My mother was abusive without knowing it. I have the scars on my feet from her whipping me and cuts on my face from her throwing plates and sandals on my head and breaking them on top of me. Yo, where are these mothers from? Lifetime? What in the world? I thought it was normal since she was always speaking about her mother doing it to her. Okay. I now have anxiety because of that. I know she is never truly proud of me, even though I'm always doing my best. For 5 years, I've been a straight A student. Wow. Girl, amongst all that, congrats, because sis, wow. I have skipped a grade and have won spelling bee competitions that she has never gone to. Oh, child. She's always comparing me to other kids, bringing me down, saying I should be more like them when she does not know their true character. She always talks about my brothers and how good they are and how they never get in trouble, but then she never sees what they do behind closed doors. It's always me. I do everything wrong. I will never be good enough for her. I can never speak to her about how I'm feeling because she's just going to say it's the so. Don't go telling me these things. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. That must be a grammatical error to the gods because I don't know what that means. I can't seek help because they'll tell my mother what I'm saying and she'll just beat me more. I've done everything I can to please her, giving up my room for 2 years straight to my aunt and uncle, studying as hard as I can to get good grades, and be as kind as possible to her, everyone I meet. I can never please her. I'm only an 11-year-old in 7th grade and Haitian as well. Please reply as soon as possible. Oh, you're Haitian? That explains everything. Haitian parents. Let me tell you something about Haitian parents, okay? I love my parents, okay? My parents are very interesting individuals, okay? And if you haven't done so, please go subscribe to my second channel. It's Haitian based, okay? As y'all see, I got my Haitian attire. I just filmed a Haitian related video. That's why I have this on. But anyhow, Haitian parents all seem to do the same shit. They seem to be mentally, physically, emotionally abusive. They love to compare their kids to other people. Nothing you do is good enough for them. And I wish I had an answer as to why this was. But Haitian women, comment down below if I'm right or wrong. I feel like Haitian women have an extreme bias towards their sons. Their sons can do anything wrong. They can literally be caught on tape murdering someone and they will still coddle, defend their son to the nail. Their daughters can't even blink wrong, okay? As soon as their daughter does something wrong, all hell breaks loose, okay? I genuinely believe that a lot of mothers in general, not even just Haitian, a lot of mothers in general are jealous of their daughters. That's one. And when it comes to Haitian mothers, I feel like there's just this ridiculous preconceived bias towards their sons. Haitian mothers love their sons to the point where I feel like it's very detrimental to their sons, because now when their sons go out to find like a legit wife, they're looking for someone to treat them like their damn mothers, which is excuse their toxic behavior, look up after them, pick up after them, do every single thing for them, and they don't have to do anything for themselves. And I feel like that's a very, very toxic mindset. I have no idea where this came from, but it's a very annoying situation. Honestly,
Keep doing you. Keep doing good in school. I don't even think there's anything you can do about that. I know a lot of people living in that type of situation. Luckily for me, my mom only has me. She ain't got no choice but to be nice to me. But I know a lot of people in this type of situation.
I personally don't understand it. If someone in the comment section could like help me understand why Haitian mothers are like this, I would love to know why, because this is a very
Sickening and sad and like really depressing situation. Like there's a lot of Haitian parents out there who really mistreat their kids, especially their daughters. And I feel like a lot of it in general just has to do with like gender bias as a whole. Like a lot of people find boys to be more valuable than, you know, women. Like, you know, in certain countries, like I believe it's China, they actually have an abundance of baby girls up for adoption because people do not want their daughters. They always want sons. But it's very funny. I'm like, okay, everybody wants a son, but how the son's gonna marry anybody if y'all got a country full of boys? I don't understand it. There's been cases of people literally like throwing their baby daughters into rivers or off of cliffs, and it's just like, I just can't. Like, I feel like everyone is precious, okay, male or female. Especially when you have a kid, you should definitely hold your kids to the same standards, and you should definitely love them equally, okay? Whether you have favorites or not, you should at least treat both of them with respect. I really hope that you're doing okay. Like I said, keep doing well in school, keep killing them. It doesn't matter if you get acknowledged or not. You're doing what you're doing for you. You're doing what you have to do for you, your future, and the betterment of yourself. I hope everything is going okay. I hope all of you who sent me a story that I read today are doing okay. Down below, the Mafia, to let these people have some advice, okay? Because this was a very interesting episode. Let me know what you think about this video down in the comment section below. If you need advice, send it to TheeMafiaspeaks@gmail.com. Please make sure you go follow my second channel, okay? It's called Haitian Girl Tries. I'm gonna be trying stuff, suggest some videos over there, okay? Make sure to subscribe, do all that, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.